But Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Live from Cobble Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into Talkin Tens right here on 93.7 The Ticket. We got last show for Ticket Weeknights. We got Kinsey Davis and then special guest from Canada originally, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have some good questions for that. Emma Spence from Canada joining the Nebraska Gymnastics. So we got a full hour here. Definitely feel free to chime in at all. You can head up the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685, or you can call in at the Honda of Lincoln hotline, same number, 402-464-5685. And you can always catch us streaming as well. So if you want to put a face to the voice, you can catch the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream. We got that on Facebook, Twitch, Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. So basically, anywhere we're streaming, you can find it. Just put in 93.7 The Ticket. But yeah, where do you want to start? I feel like we can go anywhere with this one.
Yeah, well, I just want to welcome Emma Spence on the show. She's my roommate and teammate. She is 1 year younger than me, so she'll be a sophomore, or not be. School already started.
Yeah,
School started today. Here. So yeah, she's a sophomore. She's originally from Canada. And I want to talk about her most recent international competition she participated in. But first, you can give us a little background about yourself if you want, only what you feel comfortable. Just about Canada, how you got kind of, I don't know, going, recruited here.
Well, I got recruited here the fall of 2020 during COVID. So I actually didn't even get a chance to come visit the school or anything, which is really different.
Oh, so you did like a blind commitment type of deal?
Kind of. The coaches gave me tours over Zoom and FaceTime, so I was able to see a little bit. But my first time coming here was actually when I just moved. So that was
so
that was different. But overall, it was good. Yeah.
How was your freshman year?
It was super cool. I honestly never really watched much NCAA back home. It's not really a thing in Canada. It's more of an American thing. So I didn't really know too much about it before. I watched a little bit of your meet your freshman year, those competitions to kind of see what it was like deciding if I was going to do it or not. So overall, the experience was just amazing. Being able to be a part of a team, that kind of competition was something really new for me. And the school year was really good. There was lots of academic support, and my major seems interesting so far, so that's good.
What is your major?
Currently it's communication science disorders, more like speech pathology. I did end up switching it after the first semester last year, but this is what I stuck to now.
That's pretty good. I feel like that happens a lot though. There's a lot of people that switch it up when you get, because like you get out of high school, you're 17 probably at the peak. Maybe some are 18, then you got to decide your rest of your life. So
yeah,
that's not too surprising. Where from Canada are you from?
So the province is Ontario, which is like a state, like we
Mhm.
call them provinces. So it's Ontario. I live in a city called Cambridge.
Okay, cool. What's the population of it? I feel like that's a pretty big city, right?
I have no idea. It's about an hour-ish from Toronto,
Okay.
which is like one of the big cities.
Which way? Going like east or west?
I also
An
don't
hour
know.
around there.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, and then I do want to ask, coming from Canada, it was during COVID, obviously, so it was probably hard to visit campuses. What was the thing that first made you interested in Nebraska?
Definitely when the coaches reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
They were super friendly, welcoming, and they talked very highly about the school, the teammates, the academics, just everything about the school. So that got me interested at first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Emma came here and competed all around as a freshman, which is stellar and honestly just kind of unheard of. Some people have to fight really hard for lineups, especially as a freshman, and kind of prove that point. But she came here as a 2020/2021, don't really know because of COVID, but
Yeah.
Canadian Olympic alternate
Mhm.
member. So that is
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I have some stats here. She came as Olympic alternate. She then competed all around for us. And then this past year, she got WCGA Scholastic All American. And then her most recent international competition was the Commonwealth Games in England. Is that right?
Yes.
Where Canada got third as a team, which she represented. She then made third all around. Is that right?
Mhm.
And then she qualified to finals on every event she did, where she placed third on beam, fourth on vault and floor, and then sixth on bars. And she just came back a week ago.
Yeah, I got back in Nebraska on Tuesday, back in Canada about 2 weeks ago, I think, 2.5
So
weeks
hasn't
ago.
even been back in Nebraska for a week yet. But I was hoping you could share a little bit about Commonwealth Games and more
Mhm.
specifically what the difference was going back to elite after you've now done a season of NCAA gymnastics.
So the experience at Commonwealth Games was just incredible. It's a really big event because it's a games, so that means it's a multi-sport event. So a bunch of different sports were there. All the Commonwealth countries were there, and there was an opening, closing ceremonies. There was an athlete village for us to stay in. It was like all televised all over the media, so it was a really big competition in itself. So it was a big deal and super exciting to be there. It went really well for me on the gymnastics side of it. Being able to represent Team Canada is always a huge honor for me, and I was really lucky and glad I was able to do that. And yeah, being able to meet so many new athletes from different countries and different sports is super cool, because everyone kind of relates to each other too, because you go through the same path to get to the games, even though it's from a different sport or country. You all are able to relate and just respect each other for what it took to get there pretty much. So everyone's usually able to connect and get along really well. And in the village, there were games, I guess, for the athletes to play and just get to know each other. So overall, the experience was amazing. And we were able to walk in the opening ceremonies. Like I was walking in with Team Canada, which was really cool. It was literally like watching it on the like when you watch it on TV at the Olympics, it's like in this huge big dome and every country walks in and it's this huge celebration, and that's exactly what it felt like. It was a great experience.
That's awesome. That's crazy. This is cool. I didn't realize we're getting such like accolade loaded person on the roster.
She's stellar. She has everything in the book: academic and athletic, and she's international. And she stand out as our freshman. She was our lead off on everything, right? Was it everything?
Everything except bars.
Bars. Okay, you went towards the end on bars, but she was our strong lead off. So
lead off is like for gymnastics, you want your lead off to be like
strong,
you're at least one of your top performers, right?
Yeah, you want to start off strong so that you have a good starting score, and then everybody can kind of follow that lead. So you definitely want to put like just a strong, consistent, dependable person up first, and she was our rock every time for that. So how was it staying in the athlete village and just like, I don't know, experiencing, like, I know you just talked about the opening ceremonies, which was cool. Did it feel like you were there for a competition? Did you ever feel stressed, or was it like kind of fun? Or, well, of course it was fun, but was it like vacation mode, or was it like...
We were there, I think, in England for about 2 weeks. So some of it felt more chill, but then once the competition started, it was really intense, and it was actually 4 days in a row of competition. So the team competition was I think it was like a Saturday night, I think. And we didn't finish until around 10 o'clock. And like by the time we got to the village, it was 11 p.m. And then the next day, all around final was at 12 in the afternoon. So it was like it was just over 12 hours of recovery. So that was really stressful because usually you have at least a day in between competitions. So that was a little bit challenging mentally also, just knowing that you weren't completely recovered and you just had to go in and try your best for the next day. And then the 2 days after that were both event finals. So it was 4 days in a row of competition, which was pretty stressful. So the competition part was a little bit more stressful and intense, but I also had fun with it too. But the days before that, being able to just hang out and take advantage of the whole experience, it was a lot more chill.
Yeah. So, on that topic of things, I know this one, especially on our team, takes recovery super seriously. We have the cold tank available. We have just our training room and rolling out and everything. And she'll come early and stay late to make sure she's all like stretched out,
What's
iced
the
out.
cold tank? Just tub of ice?
Not ice, it's just cold water, but it's
Oh, okay.
very cold. But it's in our locker room, which is super useful
Yeah.
and convenient. But normally you just kind of try and get as low as you can, get everything. And she's in there like the furthest out of everyone every day. I don't know how she does it. I'm like getting my calves in and I'm like, oh my God. And she's like all the way down in the tank.
I feel like those feel
But
pretty good though, if you really commit to it.
well,
No?
not
Depends.
all the way down probably, but when I put my legs in, sometimes that feels good because like they might just like if your ankles get swollen or anything, like
Yeah.
it feels nice.
Probably happens in gymnastics quite a
But
bit too.
yeah, especially just like being on your feet all day.
Mhm.
But I don't know how she goes as low as she does. But when you were in England, did you ever I saw that you had like the boots on at one point. Like you had some recovery methods, but since like you kind of got in such a role, I guess, since coming to college, was it different?
It was a little bit different, but we had a team trainer that traveled with us, so I was able to have that, and we had the boots that we used. There were like ice baths that we could use in the athlete village as well, so I did do that because being in college, I got used to doing it. So I tried to keep up with the same routines that I've been doing here
Yeah.
and do them as similar as I could when I was over there too.
Yeah.
So in terms of recovery, you were talking you went 4 days in a row. Were you starting to feel that fatigue? Obviously, it wouldn't be disadvantaged because everyone's right there with you. But day 4, could you feel it?
I could definitely feel it, but one thing that really helped was the crowd and just the energy and excitement from everyone in the building. That definitely kept me going because I was actually the only athlete from the whole competition that qualified for each final too.
Oh, that's sick.
So
Subtle flex.
so it was draining a little bit, but I was super excited to be there and I was just taking in the experience and trying not to think about how many days I was competing and just like, okay, this is the last day. Let's have fun with it. Don't think like this is the last day. I'm so tired. I've done it for 4 days in a row. So I think it was a mental game, honestly, trying not to think about it that way.
No,
Yeah.
that's super cool.
Well, if it seems like also doing all around for your team one day is kind of like one vibe, and then I'm sure individual is probably the same. But once you got to event finals, did it help your mindset when you didn't have all 4 events on your plate and you were only worrying about 2, or was it it was 2 each day, right?
Yeah. So the first day was vault and bars. Second day was beam and floor.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say competing more for myself was a little bit less stressful because for the team, you want to do good for the team. Obviously, it looks good on the country. And just as a team being able to celebrate doing well all together is a great feeling too. But I also do put a little bit more pressure on myself when it's individually just because I know that whatever I do reflects on me. It's not like the whole team as well.
Yeah.
So they're different, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, what an awesome experience. And
Yeah.
also, I don't know how much longer we have for it to go.
Oh, we got plenty of time. We got like 10 minutes yet. So
Do you want to touch on how the situation worked qualifying for that competition? Because you had to jump through a couple hoops to do that. She was doing like virtual videos. She was sending things to people. And while we were kind of like unwinding for summer, she was more so gearing up for that. So do you want to talk about that a little?
So the first competition of the season for us was virtual actually because COVID was still pretty bad in Canada, and that was during our NCAA season
Yeah, I was
too.
gonna
Actually,
say.
It was
I
like
think it was,
March because it was
March,
before
yeah.
Big Tens.
Yeah, so like we competed on the weekend, and then I did this virtual competition during the week and it was 2 days of competition.
What does a virtual competition look like?
Okay, so we
It was actually a big
yeah,
thing.
it was a big thing. We did it for Olympic qualification, like all of through 2021 as well. So you record your routines, and there's like a judge either in person or over Zoom watching and like monitoring that you're doing everything properly.
Make sure it's live too. It's
Yeah.
not just some old recording that you did over and over and over again.
Yeah. So they like watch your warm up because it's timed, and then they watch you do your routine, and then you have to submit it or send it in, and then they'll like make sure it's the proper video that they just watched. And then about a couple days after that, all the judges get together and they judge all the routines as if it was a competition. So they'll like play the videos one at a time, judging it like a competition, and then that's how you get ranked. So I did that during season. So then, I did it. I think it was a Tuesday and Thursday. I did the competition, and then we competed again on like the Friday or Saturday for NCAA. So I had to switch my routines again for that. So that was the first competition. That was called our Elite Canada, which is a meet that we do around that time. Qualifier to nationals, but since I was on national team, I was already qualified. It was more just for experience. And then right after season was done, I took like 2 weeks off, and then I decided I was going to try for nationals. So I started training hard for that, which was at the end of May. So then I went to Vancouver, and actually my university coaches came with me to Canada for that competition, which was really awesome. And I competed all around 2 days there, and I ended up 4th all around. And that's the competition that qualified me for Commonwealth Games. And then I think I took another like week or 2 off after that, just so that I could chill a little bit.
Yeah, don't burn out.
Yeah. And then I started training again for that, and then we left I think it was the beginning of July. We actually went to France first, and then we went to England like for a training camp, and then we went to England for the competition. So it's been pretty busy, but
she was leaving the house. She was packing to leave the house and had like one backpack and like an under the plane or over the plane.
Over the plane,
and
like
she had to go to Canada. Well, she got to like repack in Canada, but she literally went from Nebraska to Canada to France to England.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
Are you used to traveling around that much, or?
Yeah, throughout the last few years of my career, I've been able to travel to a bunch of different countries for gymnastics. So I was used to it. It was just super busy like this time because I was coming from the US and then Canada, and then we had a training camp in France. So
yeah. I was good that you're used to it. I was going to say, I was like, if you're not used to it, that'd be crazy stressful and then trying to figure that all out. But at least you got the traveling under the belt. You already know what it is. But I did want to ask, the Commonwealth Games, is that like a yearly thing, or is it kind of like the Olympics every 4?
It's every 4 years.
Okay.
So how I described it to my American friends is it's like Pan Am Games.
Yeah.
So it's like how Pan Am Games is every 4 years, but with the Pan American countries, it's like that, but with the Commonwealth countries every 4 years.
Okay, so it's basically same layout though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then is it switch every year, or is it always in England?
No, it depends.
Or every 4 years?
Every 4 years, it's usually a different country.
Okay, cool. With that being said, though, we are coming up to a break here. We'll throw it the break. This is Talking Tens. I'm here with Kinsey Davis, and then of course we have special guest Emma Spence with us. She's got plenty of great stories to tell, I'm sure, so definitely stay tuned in for that. We will be back right after this.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Let's do it. Let's get away. Let's go outside, cast a line, and reel in good times with our family and friends. Get a little peace, quiet and relaxation, and make some memories that will last a lifetime. Let's do it. Let's Fish Nebraska. Start planning your fishing trip today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get, and it's easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something. Something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans, it's a story that rings true. We learn to endure the heat in silence. We apply what we learn to life, the bills, the job, the family, things we're expected to handle with ease. When life heats up around us, we just try to stay afloat. We let the water boil. Reaching out isn't easy. But you've never been interested in easy. You joined because you were not afraid of hard work. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait until the water boils. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger. Something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Kinsey Davis, and this is Talkin Tens. My guest tonight is Emma Spence, my roommate and my teammate, and she is telling us all about Commonwealth Games representing Team Canada. So I had just a couple questions left to ask Emma. First, she mentioned how during season she kind of had to flip-flop her routines from an NCAA level to a more elite kind of international level. I was just going to ask, how did that process work, and how did you kind of decide what skills you needed to do or take out or add, and how did you have the stamina to just flip it like that? Well, probably because she's insane, but
I think just my experience of doing the same routines for a long time over the last few years was very helpful. So when I did switch my routines, I went back to the ones that I competed last year when I was doing just elite. But yeah, flip-flopping was a bit challenging, especially during the season when it was like the NCAA competition on the weekend and then competing elite during the week and then another one on the weekend. So I was switching back and forth. But when I was training like for the competition itself, I would train my college routines. And then once I finished that assignment, then I would work on like my elite routines on the side. So yeah,
you do like double the assignments. Also, I'm sure you try to be, as perfect as you can execution wise in both routines, but how is it in college? Like, did the college routines actually chasing perfection come easier versus when you were working the elite routines, just kind of not trying to get through, but it's so chaotic. You do like double the amount of skills. So
I think one thing that college has helped me so much with is my execution. And I saw that at the last competitions that I've done, my execution score on every routine's improved by so much.
Yeah.
So that part has helped a lot. And honestly, I wasn't trying to think about it too much for my elite routines because there's a lot more room for error, I guess, because it's not starting at a 10. So if you hop on a dismount, it doesn't cost you that much. So I wasn't focusing as much on the little details like that. I was just more focusing on getting through the routines, trying to do them as clean as I could. And if I didn't stick the landing, it's like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just moved on. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, how crazy. So my last question for you is just moving from all elite in the previous years and coming as, an Olympic alternate with a very kind of stressful and intense environment, and then coming and experiencing just such a stellar freshman year. Did you take anything with you moving back to elite that you learned in NCAA, or is there big differences that you noticed in NCAA that you were able to take as a takeaway for elite?
I think once I did college and then elite, and then I did both together, and then I was able to compete again at nationals and at Commonwealth Games, one of the biggest differences or things that I've learned in college that has helped me is the team part of it. Even though I didn't have my Nebraska team with me, I was not just focusing on myself during the competition, which was nice. I was cheering for the other teammates, and they said it was really helpful for them too, but it also kept me a little bit more relaxed. And I learned a lot more about just having fun and enjoying the competition. Like you and I throughout the season, we'd be dancing on the sidelines, jamming out. And even though you weren't there with me, I was still doing that just to keep it light so I wasn't too stressed. So that was really helpful. Something really important that I've learned from that. And then something that I've learned from my elite that I think helped with my college was just all the competition experience at like big, high international competitions, knowing how, if you need to hit a routine under a high pressure situation, I learned on how to be able to do that when you had to hit the routine. So I think being able to do both has helped one another, I guess. And I was
Yeah.
able to figure out how to use the experiences from both and help together.
Yeah, certainly. Well, do you think that dancing and being loose has just become a habit now after this past year?
Yeah, I think so. And honestly, you've helped me so much with that in the gym and at the competition. So
Yeah.
that's my new go-to, just keeping it light, keeping it like I am in training. And I found that that's helped a lot throughout the competition.
Yeah, and Twitter was raging over just her sportsmanship and her fun and her just attitude. And she would get a score back that she liked, and she'd be like, "Yay! Oh my gosh!" Like she just had the time of her life. So I just wanted to touch on that because what a cool experience for Emma.
Yeah, I also want to ask, because you said you were the only one in the Commonwealth to qualify for all 4 events in the finals. So if you had to pick one, which one is like your favorite or your go-to?
My favorite event to compete is definitely floor. I love trying to get the crowd involved. And it was super cool because this arena was huge and it was packed with so many people. And because I did my college floor routine at this competition, it's a lot more upbeat and light and fun. And the whole crowd started like clapping throughout my whole routine. So that was just an incredible experience. Like I've never seen that before in an elite competition, really.
That is cool. Do you remember the arena name?
Arena Birmingham.
Arena Birmingham. I'm going to look that up real quick.
Yeah, so the competition was in Birmingham, England.
Also, if you haven't looked up Emma Spence on Twitter, you really should. Or you can look on my Twitter and see the retweets and the quote tweets just of her experience, because people were saying that Emma Spence should be the new prime minister. People were on her side. They were ready to
It
get
was crazy.
People were making memes.
Oh man, I missed it.
Would you have some when we come back from the next break, or you can look now while he talks about
We could do
the arena?
that for the final segment. We can just read some
So
tweets.
funny. They were all such big fans of her.
No, but the capacity, you said it was pretty full.
It was full. Yeah, it was
so
crazy.
you were looking at about 15,900 people.
Holy, yeah. It was insane. Like it was so loud. And even though we were in England, the whole crowd was supporting every country too, which was super great.
That would be, I feel like Florida would be a good one for that. When you got about 16,000 people in the stands.
Yeah.
But I do want to wind it back even further, because I kind of like trying to figure out how everyone gets into gymnastics. One thing I learned is a lot of people get homeschooled in order to pursue gymnastics. Early on, what was the first thing that made you get into gymnastics?
So I have 2 sisters, 2 younger sisters. One of them started gymnastics before me, and she came back home one day and she was doing like these cool flips around the house and I was kind of jealous and I was like, oh, I want to do that too. So that's kind of where it started. I think I was about 7 years old.
So how old was she? 5?
Yeah, she's around 5.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you got the 5-year-old taught the 7-year-old gymnastics. And then after that, what did you just like really love it right away? Or what? I mean, obviously you pursued it enough to become a great athlete in it, obviously going to the Commonwealth Games. What was driving you to just keep getting better and better and better?
I started to do it honestly because I was just having fun doing it. Like I enjoyed going to the gym, learning all these new flips, being able to do them, and just the feeling of learning new skills.
Yeah.
And that's just what kept me going, honestly. Like my goal when I started wasn't to do this or any big competition. Like I used to watch the big girls training and do things and I was like, that's so scary. I never want to do that. So I kind of just did it because I loved it and it just brought me here, I guess.
That's crazy. So were you homeschooled or how does that work?
No, I did full school. I did have to modify a little bit with my teachers because we would practice in the afternoons. So I would go to class in the morning and then I'd do my practice in the afternoon and then I would do either online classes or I'd meet with the teachers and figure out how I would do it from home instead.
So how many hours do you think you were putting into gymnastics, say through, were you doing that in elementary or more high school?
I did start doing that in elementary, I think grade 5.
Grade 5. So how much time do you think you were putting into gymnastics outside of school at that time?
Around then was probably like 16 hours a week, and then it built up to like 25, 30.
So just kind of slowly became a part-time job.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I suppose, I mean, it paid off obviously. And then, like you said, you had to pick your university through the COVID year, getting Zoom calls, trying to figure out what the campus looked like. So when you got to Lincoln, obviously you haven't been here. Well, you were here last year, correct? Or
Yeah.
no? Okay, yeah. So when you first got to Lincoln, you have any culture shocks?
I think I was just super overwhelmed, honestly, just being in a new country, moving away from home in another country.
Yeah.
And because it was COVID, I didn't know when I was going to be able to go home again because crossing the borders was pretty difficult at the time. So everything was just super overwhelming at first, and just everything's it's honestly pretty similar to Canada, I find, but just seeing like the different names of stores and stuff, like I'm just not used to. So everything was just a little bit different at first.
We have this funny thing recently we've been doing. Okay, what are the comparisons of TJ Maxx and Winners?
Yeah.
Apparently, don't know what Winners is, but what was the other one? We were in. Well, we went to Walmart.
Yeah. And then you got me to try the American snacks.
Oh yeah, then we had her try some American snacks. Do you remember what you tried?
Slim Jim. One of those.
What was your rating on that?
6.5.
Yeah,
Out of 10?
6.5 out of 10. It started off good, and then the more I ate it, I was kind of like not as good, but
That's most
okay.
American
Then she
food.
tried. Then she tried Funyuns.
Funyuns. That was
and
not bad.
She liked that one.
Yeah, I think I like Funyuns too. I'll never buy them, but if
But
they're
if you
there,
ate
I'll
them-
eat them. Yeah.
And then lastly, this was her decision to buy these. I think I picked out the other two. Or I persuaded her to buy them, but she picked out Takis all by herself.
Yeah.
You like those?
Yes, but not after a lot because I was like
Yeah.
dying in the car after.
Yeah, I'll be honest, they're not my favorite. It's
Yeah.
like super limey, and then your mouth puckers, and then it's spicy at the same time.
Yeah.
Not big on Takis.
Yeah.
What are some Canadian snacks that you guys would have that we don't?
Smarties is a big one. It's okay. So you guys
Wait, we have Smarties.
But okay, no. So you guys, it's like the candy,
We have the
right?
wrong ones. Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
candy.
So we
We
have
have the
those,
knockoff.
but we call those rockets.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like the exact same thing, but we call it rockets. And then we have Smarties. That's like a chocolate,
Oh,
but it's kind of like your guys' M&Ms, but like bigger.
Harrison's doing some Google search.
Yeah. So that's a candy, or chocolate, I guess. That's like the main thing.
What store were we in the other day? Because we were what's like Barnes and Noble?
Oh, Barnes and Noble is like Chapters and
Oh
Indigo.
yeah. She's like, do you have Chapters? I'm like, that sounds so proper. No, we have Barnes and Noble. But one time in the past, sorry to throw you under the bus here, but last year I was like, oh my gosh, we should go to Barnes and Noble. Like, do y'all have that? Have you ever been? She's like, is that a food place?
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like seeing everything, like all the signs in the stores. Like I don't know if it's a restaurant or clothing store, anything.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah,
so
'cause
funny.
It Barnes and Noble too. The name doesn't sound like
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
Chapters sounds like a much better name.
Yeah, Chapters and Indigo.
Mhm.
I don't get the Indigo part. Is
I
that
don't
the last
know.
name?
No, they're like two separate stores, but like they're kind of the same company. Same with like Winners and Home Sense and Marshalls. It's the exact same thing, but
Yeah.
like
So
yeah.
Winners. I'm gonna start calling TJ Maxx Winners.
Winners.
I'm sure they're related. They're like they look the exact same.
I found the Smarties too. They're literally just M&Ms,
Yeah.
except a little glossier on the
Yeah,
finish.
and they're a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They do look like sour candies though.
No, they're chocolate.
Huh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What about food? Is there any food places that you've found in Lincoln so far that you really like?
Nothing really specific that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, but like there's nothing like that I don't like. Like I find it like it's all like pretty good.
I took her to Good Sense the other day
Oh,
for
that
the
was
first
good.
time.
I
That was
love Good
fire.
Sense.
That was
good.
too good. I picked her up from the airport, so we were having like a long drive, and it was dinner time. And I was like, "How do you feel about a sandwich for dinner?" But we went to Good Sense.
I'm right there
So
with you.
good.
I love Good Sense.
Yeah, it was
Sense
good.
is so good.
Yeah, that was my first time.
So have
trying
you
that.
had Subway?
Yes, we actually do have Subways back home.
Okay, but Good Sense is better, right?
Yeah.
Or no? Okay.
Yeah, I think it is better.
What about Jimmy John's?
Okay, yeah, I did have that.
I love Jimmy
think
John's as well.
I
but
think Good Sense was better than Jimmy John's.
The same way. I love Good Sense. Every time I live right by one, I'm at the point they know me now. It's kind of a
Literally,
little embarrassing.
Nothing can top Good Sense. Like sometimes I like crave Jimmy John's. Like I'll be on this Jimmy John's fix, but when you eat Good Sense, it's just different.
It's always
so good.
Because I've had Jimmy John's, and I've had a few times where it's just been okay, but every time I go to Good Sense,
Okay.
it's always
Never
a great
misses.
sandwich. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and they cut the meats and cheese right in front of you, so you know it's fresh.
And you don't have to talk to anyone. You can just make your order online.
Yeah, even better. You just do it on the box. You don't zero interact. You can even pay there. Zero interaction.
Yeah. So funny.
I guess what other culture shocks, if any, or is it really that much like Canada?
Honestly, yeah, like there hasn't been that much else that's been super different.
What about the winters?
Actually, yeah, that's true. It was not as cold here.
Okay, even
Yeah.
with the wind, you were like, you guys.
Yeah, well, the wind is
babies.
different. I don't find it as windy back home, but there's a lot more snow.
Yeah, I
So
can
here
definitely see
there was
that.
like barely any snow last winter, so that was
Yeah,
pretty different.
I guess that's true. Last year we got incredibly lucky with snow. I actually know back in my hometown, Northeast Nebraska, Pender, their water tower, they just ran out of water completely because there was no snow. So none of it melted. None of it ended up in the water on the ground. So there's like some, so that was a pretty bad winter, I guess, because
Yeah.
normally we get way more snow.
It doesn't get as windy. One thing is tornadoes.
Oh,
the
yeah.
tornado warnings. I'm not used to that, and every time there's a tornado warning, I completely freak out. Like I get so scared.
Do you
'cause,
know
like,
the drill? At least what you do?
Yeah, you like go really low or like in a basement or something.
Yep.
Yeah, that scares me so much. So there's been a couple like since I've been here already,
Mhm.
and I'm not used to that, and I get so scared.
Yeah, they are scary. There was one, I want to say it was like midsummer. I want to say it went off at like 10 p.m. too. Do you guys remember that one?
No, but I do remember when it was finals.
Like, yeah, in
and
December.
It was was it? Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
December. Oh yeah, yeah. It was really late because it was literally finals week. I had like a math final, and everybody was
Mhm.
like freaking out, like, "Oh, I don't know if we can make it to campus." I was like, And then my math final got moved online, and I still took it. But I opened the door, and the sky is orange. It's literally orange,
Yeah.
and there's these weird, like, it's vacant. Oh yeah, that was funny. There was like the wind was crazy, blowing things on people's
Oh,
cars.
I do remember this
This
now.
was December, but no, I don't remember one more recently or
Yeah, there was one real. It was there actually wasn't a tornado, but I want to say it was like towards midsummer or late summer, and it was like 10 p.m. and then I heard the alarms go off, and I was like, it's 10 o'clock, and like a night tornado, I actually do get scared because I'm not gonna be able to see it if it's night out
Yeah,
until my
yeah.
shingles are flying off. Then
Yeah.
I'll recognize it. But yeah, no, I actually do remember that December one because it was so weird because it was nice. All of a sudden, just it was cold
Oh,
and
and
then
it
a
started
massive
sprinkling a little. I think I
blast
maybe
of
do
warm
And
air.
yeah, it got super hot.
Yeah, so that's
That
what
was
made the
weird.
tornado super likely because it's December, it's cold, and then
Yeah.
a wave of hot air comes in, and everyone's like, it's not,
Yeah.
when you see the green clouds, it gets a little scary.
Yeah.
Creepy. Oh, so do y'all have Target in Canada or you don't?
Target. No, we
Target.
don't.
I can't believe
love
she
Target.
forgot
I
that.
forgot about that.
Last year I brought this girl to Target and oh, so cute. She's just like
I
looking
love
all
Target
around.
still. Like I just walk around there and I look at everything and it's super
All
awesome.
That's
girls
every
do love
American.
yeah. No, because I think most guys would say Target's okay.
No,
I'd
it's
say
a girl thing then because
Yeah.
I could also walk around Target, but I know you especially could walk around Target.
it is a nice store though.
Yeah.
Can't believe they don't have Target in Canada.
We did for like a year and it just wasn't like a big thing, so they got rid of it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your guys' Target then, or do you have one?
Walmart.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart just took over up there.
Yeah.
I know the red flag is when we're running errands and she's like, "Where should we go? Walmart?" Which Target definitely over Walmart any day, but you can get some good finds at Walmart. The other day, oh no, that was Home Depot. She was looking for some plants though,
Yeah,
but
plants.
we got some cacti.
Oh, nice. Perfect. You need those for the fall. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I will say Target though, you can definitely get nicer furniture.
Mhm.
Walmart, you can't really get nice
There's some
furniture.
like some things don't matter and sometimes Walmart's cheaper and it's like, okay, that's the move, but I just like Target's kind of nicer, but
It is a little more bougie.
she's a big Target stan, so
Yeah.
We are getting close to our next break here, though, so we will wrap it up here. But we do got one last segment. We'll go all the way up to that 10 o'clock hour, so you definitely want to stay tuned in. Like I said, we got Kinsey Davis and Emma Spence on Talkin Tens, and you definitely want to stay tuned in because Emma Spence, like I said, she's got a million accolades. Kinsey has listed them all off, so stay tuned in for that. We will be back right after this.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Let's do it. Let's get away. Let's go outside, cast a line, and reel in good times with our family and friends. Get a little peace, quiet, and relaxation. And make some memories that will last a lifetime. Let's do it. Let's Fish Nebraska. Start planning your fishing trip today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Here's to days spent roaming, and to sleeping beneath the stars, to casting another line, and letting time float by. From Shadron State Park to Indian Cave State Park, and every recreation area, historical, and state park in between. Here's to your adventures, your memories. Here's to going out and enjoying your Nebraska state parks. Plan your next trip today at yournebraskaparks.org. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you want to come and text us,
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one. all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Kinsey Davis. This is Talkin Tens, and I'm here with our guest, Emma Spence. She's going to give us a small little taste quickly of just some Twitter threads that she experienced while she was at Commonwealth Games. They're so funny, y'all.
Okay, so there's this one in all caps, Emma Spence supremacy. There's Emma Spence for Prime Minister. There's after the competition, like the second day of competition, she is our prime minister now.
What were you doing? The crowd was just locked in on you.
I think.
Well, I guess being the only one to qualify for all four
also
events.
just bringing like that light, happy energy, because mostly
on the
in
sidelines,
yeah, and mostly in elite gymnastics it's very like strict and serious. So
yeah.
by not doing that, I guess I stood out.
Here, I retweeted one of her that said, someone needs to GIF every single one of Emma Spence's reactions to her scores because they are fabulous. And then I guess you said, okay, to your beam score.
Yeah, I saw the score. And because it's beam, I was like, wow, okay. Like,
and it says that she was had the happiest grin and laugh for floor.
That's awesome. That was a great event. You probably did you blow up on social media followers wise and everything too?
Yeah, I gained a couple thousand followers. It's crazy. Yeah.
Was that the biggest jump you've seen in terms of like your social media following?
So I went to a competition called Youth Olympics 4 years ago, and it was about this. It was pretty similar because it was a game. So there was like opening, closing ceremonies, village, like all that kind of stuff too. So I got a bunch from that competition too.
What is your Twitter handle? Just drop that right now.
Emma_Spence13.
Emma_Spence13. All right. Yeah. So if you're listening, go ahead and look that up on Twitter and then give it a follow too.
Other funny ones? No.
They're more gifts that people
just funny gifts based off your reactions.
Yeah, and just like random ones of people talking or like dancing that they just found and retweeted and tagged me.
They're hilarious. You'll have to go look at them for yourself. But one other thing about Emma is that her first language is French. So she's going to say a little sentence or two for us in French and then tell us what she said and then quickly just explain a little bit about her country and her language.
Okay, should I say what I'm gonna? I'll say what
I'm
gonna
say. No, say it first.
Say it in French first. Okay, so on a commencé l'école aujourd'hui et on commence nos pratiques demain et je suis vraiment excitée pour ma deuxième année à Nebraska. So that means that we started school today and we start practice tomorrow, and I'm very excited for my second year at Nebraska.
That's impressive. I actually think it's probably the first time I've actually heard French.
Really?
Well, like I've heard it, but like in person. Like
right
someone that actually
like
someone that actually knows how to speak French.
Yeah, so French was my first language. I started speaking English around 4.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and just being in Ontario, so I was explaining to you guys this earlier, it's pretty bilingual because we live right beside Quebec, which is the French province in Canada, but also all of Canada is pretty bilingual. Like I grew up going to an all French school. So I learned all my subjects at school in French in high school and elementary school.
So they teach English in those classes?
Yeah. So our only English class was English. Then everything else I learned was in French.
That's crazy.
Just last night I was asking her if it was weird learning here at college in English versus learning in French her whole life. But she said, did you say not really? Just a couple things like math terminology?
Yeah, math and like the science terminology was different. The rest was pretty easygoing though.
That's pretty good. I feel like as far as math and science goes, a lot of that's new terminology for me half the time anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm going to have to memorize these on flashcards anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, that is insane though. Is like you said, not most, but there's quite a few pockets of Canada that are bilingual.
Mm-hmm. So I think every province has like people that do speak French. And like the French schools is a big thing depending on where you are. But yeah, Quebec is all French and then everyone else is kind of both.
That's crazy. That's something I don't know why, but I've never pieced together that even though Canada has a French province, right? That's what you call province? Province, not Providence. Okay.
A lot of people call it that though from here.
Yeah, probably because we don't know any better.
Yeah, but how unusual too. And then you come here and nobody speaks French. So
Yeah,
you went from like
nobody.
there's a whole French part, there's a half and half part, and now there's like a nothing part, really.
So did you at UNL have to take any speaking classes or no? You should be in the clear, right?
Yeah, I'm in the clear because I don't know. I guess I just
Yeah,
didn't
you're
have to do the test because I
bilingual
don't
already.
have a problem with speaking English. So
She's totally fluent in
yeah,
both.
yeah.
Yeah, I suppose when you start at a young age, though, it's probably that much easier.
Mhm.
I guess the only thing else I want to ask, since we do got a little bit more time here, what is kind of your guys' goals for this upcoming season? I asked you last time and what your personal goals are, but what about your personal goals for this team or even just individual?
Individually would be to probably compete all around at the competitions again for Nebraska. As a team, I think just being able to go out and be confident in our routines, knowing that whoever's up on the events is going to hit the routines, that'll give us confidence as a team. And I think that'll help our scores if we're able to be consistent at all the competitions that we go to. So I think that's going to be a big goal for us this year.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's going to do it for us. It was a great show. You can always catch the podcast on the ticketfm.com. You'll get to hear a little bit of French in there as well and learn a little bit more about Canada and all of Emma Spence's accolades, including performing at the Commonwealth and making it to the finals in all 4 categories. So great stuff there. You'll be sure to want to catch that. This is Kinsey Davis, Emma Spence. I'm Harrison Arns. We will catch you guys all next week.